Aloha, everyone, and thank you for being here. In my service learning experience, I chose to be direct. Through this service learning, I had the chance to work with three organizations, each that inspired me in different ways. The first organization would be Travel Visions Aloha, a nonprofit organization that's been around for about 2 years now, according to the president, Mary Murdoch. Then the other organization would be Bill's class at Waianae Leeward Community College. And lastly, dive into education at Leeward Community College Pu'ulo. Through these experiences, I learned about inclusion, communication, and the importance of seeing people for their strengths rather than their challenges. Each group had its own mission, but all shared one powerful goal: to help every person feel valued, supported, and capable. In week 13's module, I came across this quote: "The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others," by Mahatma Gandhi. This quote reminded me that true self discovery often happens when we give our time and compassion freely. Volunteering with the blind reflects this beautifully. I learned patience, empathy, and gratitude by focusing on others' needs rather than my own. In helping them navigate the world, I could uncover deeper strength, purpose, and humanity within myself. Serv- Service becomes not just an act of kindness, but a path of understanding who I truly am. Let's start with Travel Visions Aloha. This organization supports people who are blind or have vision impairments. It's been around for about 2 years now, according to Travel Visions Aloha president of the organization, Mary Murdoch. Their mission is to make sure that everyone, no matter how well they can see, can still enjoy fun events, learn new skills, and feel like they belong. What makes Travel Visions Aloha special is how it focuses not on just accessibility, but on connection. They organize activities like run clubs, community gatherings, and group outings that help people with vision loss safely enjoy outdoor adventures while building friendships along the way. My first time I volunteered, we went to Melody's Garden at UH Manoa. I helped guide participants to raised beds to feel all the different plant textures as well as describing the surroundings. I also got to talk stories with a few and got to know some of them better. This is where I met Luis from Nicaragua, a very, very bright soul. And Cynthia, who was born blind and a graduate in sociology at Manoa. I also met Brandon, a current student in college, and brother Jonah from Waimanalo, or as he calls it, Nalo side. Next, we visited the USS Memorial, Arizona Memorial, where we met in a classroom where the park ranger gave us a video to watch and listen to give us a breakdown on the place we are visiting. Here, I offered assistance on walks. My participants were a couple, Auntie and Uncle Abel. Uncle Abel lost his vision on one eye, and the other is going. Auntie read mostly all the plaques out to Uncle and I. Interestingly enough, Uncle Abel is a Vietnam vet, and he was telling me all his stories of being drafted and then being on the ships. The most recent volunteering service I attended was out at Kahala Resort. I waited by the valley area for the participants to arrive and assisted them to our Travel Visions Aloha tent. Here is where I made a new friend named Rosa. She is slowly losing her vision and just really wants to grab at all the activities she can before her sight is no more. What stood out to me was how capable and independent the participants were. They didn't want help unless it was truly needed. I learned that inclusion is not about doing things for someone, it's about doing things with them. Before working with Travel Visions Aloha, I assumed people with visual impairments might struggle more to take part in group activities. But seeing their enthusiasm, leadership, and positive attitudes opened my eyes. They showed me that the real barrier isn't disability, it's a lack of opportunity. These experiences taught me to look for solutions instead of limits. That's something I'll carry into my future teaching, making sure my classroom activities are designed so that everyone can participate meaningfully. Next, I'm going to talk about Bill's class. It focused on career exploration for students. The goal of this class is to guide students to feel confident in their career choices. My former professor, Ashley Biddle, needed the voices of people who've gone through the process, former students and professionals who can share their real life stories. Those stories make career choices feel more personal and achievable. I was honored to be invited as a panel member to speak to current students as a former college graduate. I shared my own journey, how I explored different paths, faced challenges, and ultimately found a direction that felt right for me. A special moment during the panel stood out to me when a student approached me with, "Your story made me feel less worried about my future." That simple comment reminded me why sharing experiences matters so much. It helps others see that success doesn't have just one set path. Another teacher from LCC said something that stuck with me. I needed to take a step back to take 10 steps forward, and this is in regards to a career change. Through this experience, I learned how important it is to create an environment where every voice feels heard and respected. In my future classroom, I want to use that same approach, listening with empathy, encouraging open conversations, and helping each student feel confident in their own goals. In short, Ashley Biddle's class reminded me that effective teaching is about building relationships, guiding students to discover their strengths rather than telling them what they should do. Finally, there's Dive into Education. This event was at the main Leeward Community College campus at Pool Lowell. It is designed for high school students interested in becoming teachers. Its mission is to inspire future educators by showing what teaching is really like, both the challenges and the rewards. The program depends on current teachers, guest speakers, and college representatives who can answer questions and offer genuine insight. It helps young people see whether teaching is truly the right path for them. I participated by helping run 3 breakout sessions and talking directly with students. I shared my experiences, answered their questions, and supported discussions about how to go from a community college student to being automatically transferred to West Oahu if they were considering that as an option. These students were curious and some passionate about helping others, which made the event even more rewarding. What stood out most was how eager they were to learn about the education program at Leeward Community College. That gave me hope for the future of education because it showed that the next generation of teachers values empathy and adaptability. I also saw many of the students display strong leadership and communication skills. They asked smart, detailed questions about teaching methods and classroom management. It reminded me that everyone has talents that deserve to be recognized. If I can carry anything from this experience, it's this. Every student, no matter their background or ability, has potential waiting to be nurtured. My goal as a teacher is to help these students have those strengths shine. Altogether, my direct service learning experiences with Travel Visions Aloha, Bill's class, and Dive into Education changed how I think about teaching and inclusion. I've learned that people with disabilities don't want to be defined by what they can't do. They want to be given the space and support to show what they can do. I understand now that true teaching is about patience, communication, and empathy. As a future teacher, I want to create a classroom that welcomes every student, celebrates every strength, and helps each person believe in their potential. That to me is what real education and real aloha is all about. Thank you.